Alright, welcome back to the Supercoach NFL channel. In this video, we'll look at the team list for round 25 of the 2025 NRL Supercoach and Fantasy seasons. I guess the NRL season for the team list. But we will also look at round 24 of the Sportsdeck Dream Team. So, a bit of a disappointing week considering how well I've been going in Sportsdeck with a 939 this week, which should see me slide 11 spots in the overall. So I think maybe the top 50 is perhaps just out of reach again. And we didn't win in the league either, so that's a bit flat. But we'll have a look at the team anyway and how it went. So Connor Watson with 20 points was a bit disappointing. But unfortunately, we have lost Cam McInnes. So he's on the bye this week, but has injured himself and is done for the year. So 15-point return for him this week, and we are probably stuck with Connor Watson for the rest of the year as our hooker. The front row is good though. Payne Haas is their captain, 74, fantastic. Nafahu White with 78 is fantastic as well. And Terrell May, 70 points. Set and forget those guys. The second row, so we only had 3 available this week, and they all scored all right. Aaron Clark with a 57, Katoa with a 56, and Preston with a 46. Absolutely take that. In the halves, Nathan Cleary was good with 71, Nico Hines with 79, amazing. Adam Dewey with 53 was good, and Jackson Purdue scored well again with a 48. So haven't had to have played him the last couple of weeks. He has definitely come to the fore for our team. In the centres, a bit disappointing. Kiraz with just the 17, and then Ruben Garrick also going down injured, 15 points this week. Don't know if he'll be back this season either. Karapani with 29 on the bench could be a useful number going forward. Wing fullbacks, so Jaden Campbell, 52, continues to score well. James Tedesco, 64, was a fantastic score. Nwangani Tawase starting to struggle a bit with 26 this week. And Katoa with 39 points this week in the flex. So in terms of the game day this week, comprehensively beaten by Shano. The Dragons Lair straight through to the GF with a 10.49, which is a cracking score. So you can see Harry Grant scored 64, had Nico Hines as well, but then Zach Lomax with an 80 and Scott Drinkwater with a 105. So those 2 scores were the ones that really did me in this week. And clearing away the top scorer in the league. In the other semi-final, Hull White Star advances with a good win over the Brisbane Broncos. So for Oliver, he had Cleary as captain, Nico Hines, Payne Haas, Scott Drinkwater as well. So again, probably the difference maker in that matchup. And big effort this year, Nathan. But I think 4th place is where it ends for you, unfortunately. So in the league this week, matchup between myself and Oliver for the 2nd place in the GF against Shano in round 26. Killing it on all fronts, I think, too. I'm pretty sure I saw he's well up there in the AFL as well, and I'm sure he's doing good stuff in the EPL as well. But total points, so Oliver, 33rd overall. Good to see that still going well. I just noticed Shoaib scored a 10.74 and I've completely brushed him. Moved up 39 spots overall. Well done, legend. I'll just bring it back up and we'll have a look. Excuse me. So 10.74, got Dylan Edwards. Angus Crichton scored all right. Harodi with an 89. That is a pod right there. Tino, 50, but had Lomax Drinkwater as well. And Captain Teddy and got a 10.74. So that's a massive score, Shoaib. Well done, legend. Shout out to you. So, in terms of the plan this week, obviously no trades to really focus on. Let's see who's actually got trades left. So, Harry Grant's going to be very popular with McInnes, Connor Watson flailing. Absolutely makes sense. Reece Walsh looks like he's a bit more involved with Reynolds and Ezra Mam out, so he could be a really nice pod to finish the season. Sam Walker's in great form, so halves score well in this format, so get on there. Taylor May, so I guess scored 84 on the weekend. A bit up and down, but if you want to ride that roller coaster, get on. Zach Lomax is obviously a keeper at 520k, especially if you've got a Ruben Garrick, for example. You're still holding a Herbie Farnworth for some reason. He is a great option to finish your team off. But for me, not a lot of choice. So let's just get McInnes out, Hudson Young in, Nico Hines can swap with Dewey, Horsburgh in. So it's getting a bit thin. I guess if Garrick's out, probably have to play Karapani. Um, we could possibly reshuffle. No, I think we'd have to play Purdue whichever way we slice it, so that's fine. We've got 18. We're going to run with it. I guess against the Tigers, not the worst matchup for Purdue. Karapani against the Knights, so that's actually not the worst matchup either for him. So I think that's how we're running it. So Purdue plays pretty late in the round. What about in the forwards? That's where we've got all of our playing players this week. Terrell May plays in the last game. Newcastle, Roosters. So White could probably go on the bench. I should go the other way, I suppose. Warriors, Aaron Clark. So Horsburgh plays early. The Dogs, yep. Payne Haas is captain again. Why not? Pretty safe option. Plays late in the round too. So in terms of the VC, we don't have any South or Dragons players. The top four guys all playing each other. That's pretty interesting this week. Um, guess Cleary is probably the more obvious shout. Maybe Tedesco or Campbell if you can leave it that late, but maybe Dolphins against Manly on Tadalvo. Maybe Katoa. I think without Farnworth, the Dolphins are struggling a bit in attack as well. So, well, they did score a few against the Broncos. Just the Broncos scored more. No, we'll just go with Cleary. Keep it simple. Don't overthink it. And with that, it's 4 o'clock, so we should be able to see some teams. So, Isaiah Yo back. That's good news for fantasy and sports deck. So, Isaiah Yo, welcome back into the team. But we should actually check. Also, Kalai Matangi. Good to see him back. Legend. Couple of big ins this week. So, for the Rabbitohs, so Jai Gray at fullback with Latrell Mitchell out again. It's not in the extended reserve either. Talis Duncan back to the centres, unfortunately, not ideal for his scoring. But as we said, the big one back in, Kalal Matangi in the front row. Well done if you held on to him. He's going to be a super pod to finish the season. For the Dragons, so Buchanan would be on his third game. So if for whatever reason you're looking for a bottom dollar playing cheapie this week on the bubble, he's your man. But we're not really worried about cheapies at this time of the year. Halangahu gets named in the starting team, so that's very exciting for the young fella. Hopefully does the business that we know he can. Penrith Raiders, the double header Friday night, absolute cracking games. Dylan Edwards, yeah, that's all pretty standard. Nothing out of the ordinary there as far as I can tell. For the Raiders, probably pretty settled as well, I'd imagine. Yeah, no outs, so all the ins on the bench. Well, Isaiah Yo is on the extended reserve, so just keep an eye out. Don't overcommit to Isaiah Yo. if you don't have to. Storm Bulldogs. So for the Storm, Pezzett and Wishart named in the halves. Munster named at fullback to cover for Pappenhausen. Well, he is on the extended bench, so could be some late switcheroo action. Um, Joe Chan named in the centres, so no Sean Bloor. How long's he out for? Just says we'll miss the game. Okay, that's not helpful, but it's all good. For the Bulldogs, same as last week by the looks of it. Um, in the forward pack, the same. So I guess despite the threat of changes, Geraldo currently sticking fat. Who's on the bench? So Montoya on the bench, so could be a late in for Tuala if he's fit. Tupanua back on the bench as well, so could find his way in the interchange. I don't know. I know Curran didn't have the best game last week. Does he get the chop? Wouldn't have thought so, but there is options there. Sea Eagles, Dragons. So the Sea Eagles. So Tommy Talau comes in for Ruben Garrick. I think that's about it. Just looking at the team list, that sounds about right. For the Dolphins, so Nahama named back at fullback and Trey Fuller on the bench. So despite Fuller carving up last week by all reports, not rewarded as such. Bit stiff. But Felice Kafusi, he was on the picture, so he's obviously a back in. Um, yeah. Titans, Warriors. So Titans, no massive shocks there, I would have thought. So Jolliffe out is the one that's missing. There you go. And for the Warriors, Kurt Capewell back this week, which is nice. Does see Halasima move to the bench, which is a bit flat, but might a few less minutes, slightly cheaper starting price for next year. We will absolutely take that. So who's out? Lussick and Jackson Ford. So Tamara Martin must be back on the bench. Eels Roosters. So for the Eels, Iongi back at fullback, so that's nice. Papali moves back into the six. Dylan Brown still in the centres. Forward pack, yeah, looks pretty right. Luca Moretti missing, not massively Supercoach fantasy relevant. Um, for the Roosters, Junior Tupou named on the wing, so no Daniel Tupou. What's happened there? One Tupou for another. Okay. Shame that wasn't last week against the Dogs when he was jumping up over Tuala, but it is what it is. Forward pack. So what's a name to start? Wait for the late change. Welu coming in potentially. Yeah. Knights Broncos. So Votano gets another start at fullback. Um, is Crossland back in? Yep, back in at hooker. Jaden Brayley moves to the bench. Hopefully that sparks something for him. And for the Broncos, looks same as last week. Jack Kajeski missing. So who's in? Probably Jaden Hunt. And probably Tolty coming onto the bench or something like that. I know Jesse Arthur's named on the bench. There you go. Tigers, Cowboys. So for the Tigers, looks the same as last week. Yeah, no outs. No outs for the Cowboys either. So that's the same team. Nice way to finish the round. I'll just commit. Before I commit to that, I'll just check it is. So yeah, so probably a couple of watches on Isaiah Yeo in particular, maybe Tupanua, but Kalamatangi, the great man, looks like he's back. So we'll wrap the video up there. As always, if you enjoy the sports deck, the team list content, not that there's too long to go, give us a like. Comments, questions, thoughts below. Subscribe for all the goodness on the channel. Other than that, we'll catch you in the next one.